think I deleted a big file that was 6 hours long out of here that gave me some more space to finish this conversation that we're talking about. So this is part 3 of this playlist. If you're first tuning in, you've missed the introduction part. So what we are talking about is this transition that we're about to make, and how it is that we are to make this transition. Yes, I am out here with Shadow Man. I might as well let y'all see him. Hey, everybody say hi to Shadow Man. But this transition that we're about to make, I believe it starts for many of you watching this video. I could pull out a pencil and a paper and start writing up, statistical numbers based on, what I feel, think, and believe. But I'm going to say less than half of you, maybe half of you, I'm going to say a third, just for a round number. I'm going to say there's a third. There's a third that's going to make this transition. There's a third that has already made this transition. People have already made this jump. The ones listening to the video. Now, I'm not talking about all of humanity. I'm talking about this video and the number of people that are watching this particular video. Because, this wasn't an easy video for everybody to watch. I don't even know if I'm going to list this video. It's going to go up as unlisted or something like that. So, but a third has made the transition already. A third is about to make the transition, and a third ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make the transition. Not today, not tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, I ain't gonna say maybe. After the tribulation, they'll make the transition. And, that's what we have to understand. There's a certain number of people and a certain number of spirits. There are certain people that don't have a chance to make it into the kingdom of heaven. I should do a class on that. The number of people, well, I don't know the number, but the people that don't stand a chance to make it into the kingdom of heaven. You could point them out like a judge or a lawyer or something and say, you are guilty of this, based on your own testimony or, visual evidence or whatever. You are guilty of this. Therefore, you are going to die. You don't have a chance. You know what I'm saying? You might as well live your life as if these last days are your last days on this earth, because you're about to get recycled. You're about to get reincarnated. You're about to get recycled is what I meant to say. You're about to get recycled. You know what I'm saying? You're going to come back as a brand new baby in a brand new incorruptible body, no doubt. Am I still recording? I don't know. Did we lose Shadow Man? I'm new at this part, guys. I'm trying to give you guys something to see, in these videos. I guess I could be waving around and dancing around. I could show you guys I know how to dance and all that kind of stuff, but anyway, matter of fact, I am going to go over here in the shade. So I think it's going to still record if I push this button and go black on y'all, but I ain't going to go black on you. I ain't going to go black on you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not move that again. That's how we messed up last time. I'm going to do this. And then we're going over here in the shade. I think we're still recording. I have a better chance of seeing when we're in the shade. Alright, coming over here in the shade. Let's see what we got. You can't have that. And see, that's why this thing's unlisted. You see that picture on there? I think that would make it R-rated. I mean, I know for sure if I was, if it were a real woman, it definitely would be R-rated. Even cartoons, though, I think makes it R-rated. If it was a real woman, it could be X-rated. You know what I'm saying? It could be X-rated. So that's part of the reason why this is unlisted. I had to edit that part out, but maybe I can learn how to blur the faces or whatever. No, we ain't gonna even do that one. I ain't gonna play some music. I could go here. Where a lot of this understanding that I'm getting is coming from is this document right here, the Third Testament of the Bible. See the address right here? I'm trying to show you guys the address. It's trying to load on me. Thought I was gonna get loaded. Well, you can check my other videos so you can see that the HTML address for this Third Testament of the Bible. But okay, back to the transition. So the way it's going to work, the way it has worked for us and for you guys who are about to make the transition, and even for those who get recycled, The way it's going to work is through the feast days. When you start honoring the feast days and the Sabbath day, I'm going to say Leviticus 23 need to be studied, you know what I'm saying, a lot, so you can, understand what's going on, because that is how you're going to make the transition. The transition goes through Leviticus 23. And I'm using the word transition intentionally, because I don't know nobody else that uses that word. That's going to be my word. What does the word transition mean? You know what I'm saying? Just about everything I named earlier and some more stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just name them at random. I don't know, how, whatever. I think about it later. But Rapture, a great awakening, the change, what's the Revelation 12, where we go into the wilderness, called away. I think Nirvana works. I don't know all of those other languages. But it goes through the feast days. Leviticus 23. See, our Father is real. I don't care what religion you are. You know what I mean? The Bible, the scripture, that what he gave to Moses applies to the entire planet. Ain't nobody telling you to throw away your documents. You know what I'm saying? Keep your Quran, keep your Mormon's Bible, keep your other documents that they have. Every religion has their documents. The Hindus and the Sikhs and everybody got the documents. Fine, I ain't saying throw them away, but let's go through them and find out what the truth is in them, and go from there. We'll start from there in the truth, and we'll mix their truth with these, the truth from over here and this truth from over there, and we'll do it that way. Man, y'all don't know, I got AADD. I say I'm gonna start doing a comedian act. I might start now. I'm talking about my AADD. Y'all, anybody interested in laughing? I don't know. I ain't never tried to be a comedian, but I've been thinking about it. Anyway, talking about AADD. No, we're talking about this transition that we're about to make. It goes through the feast days. It goes through, like I said, Leviticus 23. But what you have is the memorial of blowing of trumpets that's coming up. For some reason, I think of my testimony. And to give it really, really briefly, it started for me on the week of Tabernacles. I had done the memorial blowing of trumpets. At least I had, did as much as I could, because the only thing it says is don't do any servile work. And I really didn't understand an offering made by fire, and I still don't. Let's do a class on that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I had done the memorial of trumpets. I had done Atonement Day by way of abstaining from food. We used to go to the restaurant the day before Atonement. No, we used to eat dinner on Atonement Day or evening, right before it started. We would eat dinner, and then after it ended that evening, we would go to the restaurant and eat. Because it was a Sabbath day too, so we'd have to wait till after the Sabbath day, and we go down to the little fast food joint and get some food. And then Tabernacles, I guess I had done it according to the first definition of the word. I need to do a class on that, on how there's two definitions to the word tabernacles. Two ways of doing it, I should say. And I was doing it according to the first way. And then in 2014, I did it according to the second way, and my life was changed. I entered this thing that I'm talking about here in 2014, I believe. I believe it was in 2014 is when I made the jump, and I believe a lot of people made it in 2014. Some made it in 2013 and earlier, and some came later, of course. But my point is that that's the way it's going to happen for you guys too. That's the way it's going to happen for, the people that are listening to my channel and getting an understanding of Leviticus 23 for the first time in their life. This is how it's going to happen. It's going to start with the Sabbath day first. Okay, you honoring the Sabbath day. If you work and you get off Saturday and Sunday, you need to pick one of those days to be your Sabbath day, Saturday or Sunday, either one, don't matter. As long as you have a rest day, that's the important part. Don't matter what day it is, you know what I'm saying? Take 24 hours and rest. You know what I'm saying? Take 24 hours of rest. But I do say, you know, that meets the requirement. But now, if you do want to understand the spiritual things that are going on behind the scenes on that day, you really need to know the Lord's Sabbath. You know, you have your Sabbath, and that's reading the requirements, and that's great, and it does a lot for you. And but if you want to get what's being offered during the Lord's feast, you just need to know when that Sabbath day is. You can get the Sabbath day wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. In all of the King James version of the Bible, it doesn't tell you what your when your Sabbath days are. My AADD kicking in, guys. When I stop and start, being quiet on you, I said AADD. I've been thought of something else, and I'm like, anyway. I don't want to bore you guys with the details of that other stuff, because right now we're talking about this transition. So the way it's going to work, and I'm basing this on scripture. This is the way it worked for the Egyptians back there when they were in Egypt and they were about to make their transition. It started with the Sabbath day. It started, and a big started, big, capital letters started. I want everybody to hear the word. It started with the Sabbath day. That's a big deal when something starts, because, that's the start of the, thing. And the start of the thing was the Sabbath day. So that's important. I'm just trying to stress the importance of it, because that's how it's going to start for you. It's going to start for you, and then it's going to go into the feast days too. That's the way it worked for them. And that's the way it's going to work. And that's the way it worked for me. And that's the way it worked for, some other people listening to this video. Maybe they'll jump down in the comment section and share their testimony as far as what I'm saying, how important these feast days are. And, some of them may have to think about it a minute, because, it's not really in your face obvious that you will always catch on to this kind of stuff. But they can get down there and tell how these feast days played a part in changing their life. And I'm telling you now, it's going to play a part in changing you guys' life too. Because after the Sabbath day, there is the memorial of blowing of trumpets. This is a certain day of the year. It comes around. It's like Christmas. You ever seen anybody who, try to do Christmas the day after Christmas or the day before Christmas? That stuff don't ever work, do it? You have to do it right on the same day. Ain't nobody interested in Christmas the day after Christmas. Even the kid don't want no toys. He like, what you bringing this in here late for? Christmas over. Well, it's the same way with our Father's feast too. You have to do it on the exact day. So you have the memorial of blowing of trumpets. You'll do that. That's an easy one. That's doing no servile work. I believe you can actually go to work and not do servile work. Even if you was a construction worker or whatever, you know what I'm saying, be sitting down talking about, I don't feel good. Or, maybe I'm going to do my paperwork today. And, this is a good day to do training. You know what I'm saying? Didn't I have some paperwork I had to fill out? Give me that. Let me fill that out. I'm going to do all my learning and stuff today. Get all of that, because it says don't do any servile work. No servile work. And it says make an offering made by fire, and we talked about that. And then you have the Day of Atonement next. That one's 10 days later. 10 days later. And that's important because this is a season. There's actually 3 or 4, maybe even 5 special days during this holy day season, spread out, about almost a month. The Day of Atonement is the day that you afflict your souls. Go and look at what Leviticus 23 says. I don't think it even uses the word fast in the King James version. I'm not sure, but you you afflict your soul on that day. And if you want to know what that means, go over there and look at Isaiah chapter 58, particularly verse 6 through 7. Like we said, we're about to make this jump. Read all of Isaiah 58. Read down there how he talks about the Sabbath day and how if you do what he tells you to do, we're going to make this transition. I guess I could pull it up here for you guys. Since I am in the shade, I need to probably check to make sure I'm still recording anyway. Praise the Lord for his words. Uh-oh. Almost showed y'all the wrong thing. Oh, let me get over here. Oh, dang it. Like I said, it's rated R. I can't show you guys grass. I can't show you trees. I can't show you dogs. You know what I'm saying? I'm limited on what I can actually show you guys. And even if I got my foot there, I'm doing wrong. This is Shadow Man you're seeing here. But let's see if I can get to where I wanted to get. We're going to Isaiah 58. That's the third testament of the Bible. There's that other rated R thing. Come to this app. Like when I come out here to the sun, I have a hard time. Okay, now I can go back in the shade now. Looking at this. Okay, boy, 88 AABB is something now. Well, let's go to Isaiah. Right there. 58. Let's go to verse 1. Read chapters, guys. I know I'm talking about a lot of different stuff. Read entire chapters. Don't just read verses, but read the chapters. So read the entire chapter of Isaiah 58. But we're going to jump down here and look at 6 and 7 as we were talking about fasting. Like I said, it is Leviticus 23 that I don't believe says fast. It might say fast. And I know there's definitely a translation that you can find the word AADD kicking in again. Oh, thinking about my dictionary. Somebody made a comment about my dictionary the other day. Like I'm gonna talk ebonics over you guys. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna look here. No, I'm not gonna do that. So 6 and 7 is talking about fasting, but if I don't have my glasses on, but I believe it says afflict your soul. It definitely says it somewhere in this chapter. And the reason why I thought about coming over here was because of down here where you see the last verse in Isaiah chapter 58 where it talks about you being a delight or delighting yourself in the Lord, and he will cause you to ride on high places on the earth and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord has says it. This is a promise. And you back up a little bit and you get what this promise is based on. This is the problem with people that don't keep the laws. They don't know the promises of the Bible. If you want to know if somebody knows the Bible or not, ask them about the promises. What does the Bible promise us? You know what I mean? And sit there and take notes so that you can verify it, in case he's making up stuff. It'd be good if he actually pointed out to you and showed you the promises of the Bible, in a way that you can go back and look and see what you have to do in order to get those promises. You have to do stuff. I often relate this to like a video game where you're going through this video game and you have to pick up these certain items in this video game in order if you wanted to win. You can't just go play that game. You can't just play Sonic the Hedgehog and not pick up the certain rings that you're supposed to get. You know what I mean? You have to get them, ting-a-ling-a-ling. And it's the same way here. If we want these merits, if we want these benefits, we have to know what it is that we have to do them. And right here you see in Isaiah 58, it was tied to, well, guess what? It's tied to the Sabbath days. It's also tied to the feast days. You know what I'm saying? Read that chapter. I guess you guys, read some of it now. I guess I could have put it in order for you to read this chapter. But we're talking about this transition. So you have Atonement Day. Your fast on Atonement Day, that's just extremely important. I was talking about my testimony earlier, we'll talk about this part here on how that was when my life changed. I was struggling there for a while. You listen to some of my videos, early before, 2018 videos, some of them ones that don't have many views, you know what I'm saying? Go in there and listen to, so you can see how rough I really was, you know what I mean? Slap somebody back in the day, you know what I mean? But You know what I'm saying? We done came a long way. Praise the Lord. We came a long way. But it was on Atonement Day. Reading Isaiah 58. Where's that part where he talks about it? I guess I could find it since we're looking at it here. It's up here talking about fasting. Okay, now 6 and 7, that tells you how to fast. And 8 and 9 is talking about some more stuff to do with fasting, I guess. Oh, see right there? When I did the fast correctly on Atonement Day, verse 8 happened. When I did verse 6 and 7, then came verse 8 and 9. Y'all hear how much traffic it is on our road. Our road so quiet. You know what I mean? This is the most quietest place. If I wanted to go somewhere, be away from my family and all my neighbors and get completely naked, you know what I'm saying? Where, because I wanted nobody to see me, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't go to the bathroom, or, you know what I'm saying, too scared to go in the woods because something might, you know what I'm saying, crawl up in somewhere or whatever. I can walk down this road. I guess I could walk down there. I ain't gonna walk down. But I can walk right down the road just a little bit, and it'll be a spot right in the middle of the road. You know what I mean? But anyway. Talking about this transition. I told you I had ADD. Anyway, talking about this transition. And let me get back on it. Let me get you back on the Bible so I can get back out of the road and go back over in the shade. So yeah, that's and I believe, and that's what I'm talking about here, is I believe that that's what's about to happen to you guys along the same path. When you start to do these feasts, he's going to come and he's going to become a part of your life. This is going to be a transition. You're going to experience a spiritual change, and it's not going to seem like a big deal because we are used to materialistic stuff, you know. And because we're used to materialistic stuff, the spiritual stuff is not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you the difference between materialistic stuff and spiritualistic stuff. Me and you standing side by side, or I'm gonna say you and some guy is standing across from each other, and you guys are debating, and you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden the individual wants to attack you. He wants to harm you. The difference between material is he hits you with something. His fist, a bat, a bullet, you know what I'm saying, a book, you know what I'm saying, a sentence where you sit in jail, or he hits you with a lawsuit, he hits you with a fine, he hits you with something that you can hold in your hand and say, dang, now what I'm gonna do with this? On the other hand, if he wanted to attack you spiritually, he would use stuff like thoughts. He would use stuff like prayer. He would use stuff like maybe a half a dozen other things that I can't think of right now on a spiritual thing. Thoughts is the number one. That's the biggest one. And you like thoughts. Thoughts? We were just talking about bullets and lawsuits, and we're comparing that to thoughts. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Spiritual stuff. That's the transition that is about to be made here, is that all of humanity, see, a lot of you guys have already transitioned. You know what I'm saying? You know, you understand spirituality. Now, but you know, abruptly change, subject change, before I forget to talk about it later. This is gonna last, me speculating now, for about 3.5 years. But anyway, we can get to that later. I said I'm gonna do a whole class on this 3.5 years deal. But all right, so we're about to wrap this thing up. If we get to Tabernacles, Tabernacles comes on 5 days after Atonement Day. Tabernacle starts 5 days after Atonement Day. Atonement Day starts on day 10. Trumpets, of course, is day 1. That's day 1. And day 10 is Atonement Day. Then day 15 is Tabernacles. Excuse me. Tabernacles starts on day 15. And it lasts for 8 days. 8 days. 8 days. Now, there's two different kinds of feasts on Tabernacles. Now, a lot of you are going to do the solemn feasts, and I can't say that you shouldn't. I did. That's what I did for years and years and years when I was in that solemn thing, basically living in an apartment kind of place where you don't have, any trees or any, animals or anything that you're basically getting all of your food from Walmart. I used to sit there, while I was saying blessing before dinner. I would sit there and I would question myself afterwards. It's like, why am I praying to him? Me and this card went to Walmart and got this food. I can actually go to Walmart again. I didn't even go to a different store or use a different card or get different food if I want to. You know what I mean? Why am I, and I don't mean to sound, flippant or whatever, but there was a serious question. It's because I believe that I understood, that it was supposed to work differently. And I wish I could show you guys what I'm, looking at right now. I'm at the gates of our property, 12 acres, and I'm looking out here. Like I said, all of this started in 2014, and here we are in 2020. And you know what I'm saying? I don't even go to Walmart to shop. I might go there to get oil or flour or salt or something that I can't make myself. And that reminds me, guys, if you guys really want to help us out, send us some olive trees. Send some olive trees. But anyway, ADD. Tabernacles. We're talking about Tabernacles being a week-long feast. Now, in the first feast, I believe it says you make an offering made by fire. Now, if that's true, I'd have to go. Matter of fact, let's jump over this. Leviticus 23. Let's jump to it. I keep forgetting. This is my first time doing it this way, guys. I keep forgetting I can actually show y'all these verses while I'm talking about it. The third book of the Bible, Leviticus chapter 23. Here we go to verse 1. Say read chapters. Notice in verse 1 how in verse 2, I believe he says how he said these are the feast of the Lord. It don't say the feast of the Jews or the feast of Moses like people want to say. Who is Moses? Man, somebody been to slap you. You better watch your mouth. But anyway, these ain't the feast of Moses. These are the feasts of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna slap you. Somebody might though. Be careful. When you jump down through here, you see the Sabbath day. And I think you have to, well, let's see. 23:23 starts the day of memorial blowing of trumpets. They're in 23 and 23. But if you scroll on down, you'll see the 10th day celebration there. I guess I could talk about all of these. Read them. Well, let me go ahead and read them. It don't take long. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. So what all of that means is you're having a Sabbath day. It is not really normally a Sabbath day. This is a new moon day, which we talked about a lot. This ain't a Sabbath day. But on the memorial blowing of trumpets, it actually is a Sabbath day. So that's a change in your normal routine. Like, hey, we don't normally fast on new moon day. Well, read Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 24. Notice this on the first day of the 7th month, and we are talking about our Father's sacred calendar. We're not talking about September, which it falls in September this year. Sometimes it falls in October. You have to check that. September means 7. That SEPT means 7, just like OCT means 8. And you can keep going. No, NOV means 9. DCE, DEC means 10. Blah blah blah. You can keep going. But so it's the first day of the sacred month, the 7th sacred month. I tried to call the name. I think it's Tishri, but we'll check that. Have a Sabbath day, a memorial blowing of and holy convocation. And holy convocation means it's a big deal. This is kind of like when if you had children and stuff. This is when they would come home. You know what I'm saying? They would come home and everybody would be there. It's kind of like anytime you have family get-togethers, people come together on the holidays. They have certain holidays where everybody show up. Well, this is one. This is one that need to change. This is all of your children, your obedient ones. I can't say all of them because all of mine don't show up, but the obedient ones, show up during the whole of the convocation. Let's go on. It says, "You shall do no servile work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord." Now notice it says servile work, and then it says an offering made by fire. And like I said, that's where the Bible study needs to start, guys. Let's do a class on that. It's just, I'm not qualified to teach it. That's the problem. I don't really know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I hear people speculate on it all the time. You'll have some people down in the comments firing off, and notice I'll be ignoring them. You know what I mean? Anyway. "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord." Now, I believe we talked about all of that. You know what I'm saying? You might want to back up and listen to it again. There's a lot to unfold in that verse. We're going to go on. "And ye shall," but notice down here it says, keep it on the page, "And ye shall do no work in that same day. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God." Now this one is saying no work. So the other one says servile work. This saying no work, no work. So you can imagine these 2 days to go pretty quickly. You're afflicting your soul. Well, there's a lot going on up there in 27. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe is transition. And I haven't done all of this stuff too. So I might be ready to, or getting ready to make a higher transition. I'm definitely ready. You know what I'm saying? The Father is, pray the Lord. But maybe what I'm saying is, maybe if I do some more of this stuff correctly that's talked about in these verses here, then I may be getting ready to level up, you know what I mean, too, along with everybody else, because this is what I believe it is. You know what I'm saying? I can't say I'm there yet. You know what I'm saying? I've been running this race for, almost 30 years now, but, I ain't there yet. I still got a long way to go. I know that. I can speak that. But so we'll try to get some more of that right and see if I can, transition with you guys. 29 says, For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. All right, now notice this one. Whoever don't do it getting cut off. But watch down here. "And whosoever it be that doeth any work in that same day, the soul..." Let me slow down. I'm not planning on editing this. "The same soul will I destroy from among his people." Okay, so now we're being destroyed. If we go to work on this day, we're being destroyed. And we're not talking about a physical death, guys. We could be, at some point we're going to be, you know what I'm saying? That's what this tribulation is. It's going to kill a lot of people during this tribulation. And one of the main reasons they're going to die is because of not obeying this rule right here. And that one up there about the Sabbath day. You die for breaking the Sabbath day too. And, some of these biblical rules carry death penalties. And it's almost time to pay the piper. You know what I'm saying? People playing, getting away with this, talking about they praising our Father in heaven because, he ain't, he took away our sins or whatever. And so now we can sin and do whatever we want. We don't have to be obedient to the covenant or the laws. We don't have to do nothing the Old Testament or the Bible say, because our Father in heaven took that away. You know what I'm saying? Well, here comes Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? It's about time to pay. You know what I'm saying? We about to start rhyming up in this J's. You know what I mean? But so you have let's switch this back over. Oh, push some buttons, y'all. Let me get back on the subject. We're gonna go ahead and close this out. You have tabernacles, but it's 2 different kinds of feasts. Now, some of you guys, like I was back there in 2013, doing the solemn feasts, where you honor the feast during the week, but you don't sleep in a booth. The second part of the feast is when you're actually sleeping in a booth. Let's see, did we get there? I forgot we were reading. ADD, y'all. I'm gonna name this video ADD or something. Put it in the title. Normally I would edit all of this stuff out, but I don't edit these type of videos. I don't edit these. Not this year. If I repost them next year, I might re-edit them. All right, are we on Atonement Day? Okay, people being destroyed about their people. "Ye shall do no manner of work." No manner of work. Let me just read. "It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Okay, so now we went from servile work to no manner of work, and then notice it's saying you're never supposed to stop. Well, we're talking about this being a spiritual death. So if we get our spiritual life back, you know what I'm saying? How about it work like this? And let me just start making up stuff, and make it make sense. What about you get your spiritual life back on Atonement Day? What if that's a day when everybody in the world wakens up and you're ready to go? It's kind of like Passover. Passover is a time when everybody wakens up and lives up because you had the Holy Spirit inside of you. A lot of us do. A lot of us recognize that, let me just say. And, and so that spirit will be helping to get them on track, even if they're not aware of Atonement Day and what they're supposed to be doing. I can speak for myself that the Holy Spirit inside you will guide you to do the right things. And the reason why I say that, giving a little bit of my testimony, is after I had read Leviticus 23 for the very first time. I read Leviticus 23 after the Day of Atonement Day. It was weeks after, but not too long after, that I could actually sit back and look at a calendar and remember, what was going on, and pull out bills and stuff and actually figure out exactly what I was doing on that day. And I was in compliance. I was like, wow, that can't be just a coincidence that I just so happened to be in compliance to do what I was supposed to be doing, even on that day that I didn't even know about. Never even heard the word Atonement Day, or Passover. But anyway, so you come to life on the memorial blowing the trumpets. And then, we trip up and flip up, and all of a sudden we done tripped up again, and we already, dead, spiritually dead by the 10th. That's the way it works every year. I believe now, like I said, I'm speculating, but, I definitely believe it works like that in the spring feast because of Easter. Easter is like set there to automatically trip you up right in the middle of the thing. You know what I'm saying? You're going to trip over the Easter bunny egg. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at evening, from evening to evening. Ye shall celebrate your Sabbath. Okay? Now, this is important information. This is why I say you should read Leviticus 23, because it's giving you detail after detail. You know what I'm saying? This is telling you that it's a Sabbath of rest, and you are afflicting your souls. So we did a class not too long ago, and I was saying, how do you put them two together? Where you're doing Isaiah 58, verse 6 through 7, and you're doing a Sabbath day. Well, you're praying for people. That's number one. You start off doing that. And then if any opportunities to do charitable deeds are presented to you, you do them. Somebody show up at your gate, want some food, you know what I'm saying? Or a place to stay or whatever, you let them in. You know what I mean? You give them some food. You take care of, the Lord's people, because, it's coming a day on Atonement Day when, the whole world's going to be in need of our Father's people, and, people doing good stuff for people, helping each other out. Anyway, got this little bug. I guess he's telling me to go on or whatever. Then we get down here to, but notice the days in that one, and notice it's saying even to even. Starts in the evening and ends in the evening. Talk about verse 33 up there, verse 32 up there. Like I said, a lot of information in there. I guess I could say we will do it in another video, but I guess we need to do it now. Talk about this stuff. So it's the 9th day of the month at evening. And then again, it's the sacred month. And you start in the evening and it lasts into the evening. You should celebrate your Sabbath. And it is a Sabbath day. This is the 10th day of the month. This is also a change in your pattern, because don't all Sabbath days fall on the 10th day of the month. They fall on the 8th day, the 15th day, the 22nd day, and the 29th day. Don't no Sabbath day fall on the 10th. But here it is. Here's one. So this is a change. We have to recognize that change. All right, so that we can get this right. Now, looking at verse 33, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of the 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. Now, he's talking to the children of Israel. Now, we recognize that those individuals have passed on. They're gone. But we also recognize that the Bible didn't come to the common man. The average person wasn't even able to get a copy of the Bible until 1611. So he obviously must not have been writing this to them because they were dead and gone. You know what I mean? Really? Think about it. They died long. So was he really talking to them? No, he wasn't talking to them at all. Unless somehow we're talking about reincarnation. But, we ain't talking about that. We're talking about feast days. And so you have to say, well, who then was he talking about? Now, is he talking about those people over there in Jerusalem right now? We could save that one for another class, whatever. But you have to understand his people are scattered. So even though those people over in Jerusalem may be part of the group, they're not the entire Israel. Israel was scattered, and they're saying that they're only one tribe or whatever. At best, you'd question, okay, well, where are the other 11 tribes? But anyway, like I said, we better say that for another class. So the Israel that he's talking about is spiritual Israel. And we just posted up a class of today's class. I need to, let's see, what time is it? Almost time to post up. That class is on who spiritual Israel is. So you guys can check out that class. We're going to go on. Feast of Tabernacles. Tabernacles means tents. So, people sleep in tents. People sleep in booths during this week. There's other parts of the Bible that goes into greater detail on what it is that, people did, and which gives us hints on what we're supposed to be doing on Tabernacles. Or for 7 days unto the Lord. Now, notice it says you do this for 7 days. This is one type of way of doing tabernacles. There are 2 different types of ways. Notice the difference. It says, on the first day shall be in holy convocation, you shall do no servile work. So here's this guilt together we were talking about earlier, and you're doing no servile work. So are you able to cook? Are you able to do stuff? Now, this is a change though, because normally this is a Sabbath day and you have to do no work. We can go back up there to where I talked about the Sabbath day up there. Let's see, it's almost at the beginning. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no work therein. So it's saying no work therein, no work at all. But down here, we just talked about how the Sabbath days fall on the 15th day of the month. So this one, you're doing no servile work. And you can imagine there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So the difference between, servile work and no work is you're able to cook. You're able to go get that log and put it on the fire before it goes out. If you do that on a Sabbath day, you done, son. You done broke the Sabbath day. But we're talking about servile work, which is a different type of work. And you guys can check me. We can start a conversation down there in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? And talk about this. But, I believe that's a significant change in our weekly routine, is that this is a no servile work day. A solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. And then it says right here, these are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and a drink offering, everything upon this day. So you need some stuff here. You know what I'm saying? We need some stuff here. Drink, that's wine. He's talking about wine there. Meat offering, that's bread. Burnt offering, that's flesh, that's food. I mean, bread is food too, but that's meat that we would call it. And so you're offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord. So I tell you, when I first read the Bible, I thought that an offering made by fire was a barbecue. I still do. It's like it's a barbecue. You know what I'm saying? It's like these people got together and they didn't burn all of that meat up. They burned some of it up to a crisp. Turned it into ashes. Some dude was way off in the woods somewhere, burning that thing all night long just so to make sure that, you know. But the rest of them guys, they was up there eating that meat, man. They were eating it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody cooking meat and, you know, people waiting around to eat it. What do you call that? We used to call that a barbecue. I don't know what y'all call it. But this is the Feast of Tabernacles. It says, these are the feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Okay. It says, besides the Sabbaths of the Lord, and besides your gifts, and beside all of your vows, and beside all of your freewill offerings, which ye give unto the Lord. Now notice how it seems like it's over with. He's kind of just explaining everything. He didn't got Sabbath day. He didn't got Tabernacles. He didn't talk about offerings and everything. He didn't summed it all up in them 2 little verses. But he goes on. He says, also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the 1st day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. Now this is different. It's like he's talking about a whole nother feast day. Notice how it starts off. And on, also in the 15th day of the 7th month. You know, so a lot of people, including me, stopped before, you know. And I'm going to tell you another thing. In 2014, I did the feast according to what we're about to read here. In 2015 is when we got this land. Notice how quickly this thing moves. You know, that's how quickly it moved from them down there in what's the name too. But in 2015, we got this land. And the thing about it, when we first got it, you can imagine how tough it was. You know, we had to build our house. We had to live in the house while we were building and rebuilding it. You know, what's the word? Repairing it, reconstructing it, bringing it back from the dead, whatever you want to call it. And we didn't understand to plant first. So the first thing we did was come on and start building. You can imagine our alternative would have been to sleep out in the woods on this property because we had already bought it and we needed a house. So I found myself right around Atonement Day, thinking about how we did not have all of this stuff that's being talked about here, and how maybe we were supposed to do the feast according to what we read up there and not sleep in a tent. And yeah, that was a bad idea. It's I give another video while I give all of the details of that, so I don't really want to go into how bad that year turned out to be. But my point is that it's a different kind of feast. While some will do the one way we're talking about, I believe the newbies are going to do it that way that we talked about up there. And the guys that have been with us or been with the Lord for a long time are going to do it this way that it's talking about down here. It says, also in the 15th day of the month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the 1st day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. So that was just talking about the fruit of the land. I was like, I ain't got no fruit. I ain't no fruit of the land. These trees won't even drop a nut on the ground. And even if they did, I can't eat it for 3 years. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing to eat. So I ain't got no fruit. And so I messed up. I did the wrong feast that year. Verse 40 says, and ye shall take you on the 1st day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days. Now, if I got that word wrong, y'all tell me. Boughs sound like branches to me that you're getting off the trees. That's what we do. We grab the branches off the pecan trees, the cherry trees, the apple trees, we get all of the goodly trees, even the oak trees and cedar trees, and everybody got a handful of branches as we walking around singing and blowing the trumpets. We blow the trumpets every year. Y'all really only supposed to do it on Jubilee year. That's when we're told to do it, but we blow it, every year because, we're walking around the property doing this part, what he's talking about here. In verse 40, verse 41 says, and ye shall keep the feast of the Lord unto the Lord 7 days in the year, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. I probably should read that again. But it's talking about how you're doing it forever. It's a statute. We talk about all the time, what is a statute? The difference between a statute and a law, this is what I believe. The difference between a statute and a law will get you thrown in jail. A statute will get you kicked out. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do the statute, I'll kick you out. But if you break the law, I'm gonna put you in jail. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Let's go on. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelite born shall dwell in booths. Now this is a short verse, but it's very important. Notice how it's talking about these booths here. It's talking about tents. It's talking about something you either build or something you buy at the store. But either way, you're gonna be out there in the yard, you know, on the roof of the house or somewhere like that, you know, for a week. You're out, you sleep. We sleep in ours. You know, during the day we'll go in. We'll, you know, use the facilities of the house or whatever. But at night, yeah, we done all piled up in that joint and we sleeping in the booths at night. Some people do it opposite. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I'm 100% right. Some people they stay in the tent all day long and then they sleep in the house. It's like they're hanging out in the tent all day long. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to go to bed, they go get into bed. But I don't know nobody that I only heard about people doing it like that. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. Verse 43 says that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. See, that's the most important story in the Bible, guys. That's what the whole story of the Bible is about, really. That's what the whole story is about, is the people he led out of Egypt. Sure, there was some stuff that came in the book of Genesis, which, you know, from what we know is the only book that came before the book of Exodus, where we hear about the story of Exodus. That's the second book of the Bible. So the whole Bible, the whole rest of the Bible is just, you know, what happened to them people. That's the whole Bible. And so people will be like, you know what I mean, talking all that stuff or whatever. They should be trying to understand that, you know, our Father and his word is serious. But anyway, trying to ramble on. It says, and Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord. Again, these are the feasts of the Lord. So, and I believe this is what's going to help us to make that transition that's talked about over there in Malachi chapter 4. Read that. Here's your reading list. Malachi chapter 4, Exodus chapter 20 through chapter 24, verse 7. That's about 4.5 chapters. Isaiah chapter 58. And if you're really new to all of this, pick up the book of Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7. Add that to your list. And yeah, be ready to make this transition. We get ready to jump. You know what I'm saying? We getting ready to go. You know, we get ready to be raptured. You know what I mean? We about to get into the next covenant. I mean, we about to get into the new covenant. We're about to go to New Jerusalem. When we first got this property, I named it the Kingdom of Heaven. That's its true name. You might hear me call it the Hillbilly Homestead, but you know, this is the Kingdom of Heaven. You know what I'm saying? This is why I say everybody welcome. If the Father send you down here, the Father wants you down here, shoot, come on down. You know what I mean? I wish he sent some people down here, but that's the thing. You know, he got to send them down here. So we'll let him worry about that. You know, we'll keep managing with what we got. All right, so I believe I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Folks, like, finally. Yeah, let's see. Thank you guys for supporting our channel. We didn't hit about 7,000 subscribers as of now. And, you know, we want to thank all of you guys that sending in contributions and stuff to our channel. We don't ask for money. You know what I'm saying? But just like when people show up to my gate with a box of food or clothes, you know, for the kids or, you know, something like that, we don't turn nobody down. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that. No, we ain't that kind of people. You know what I'm saying? People give stuff for us all the time. And, you know, you guys that, you know, give stuff on YouTube, we want to say thank you too. You know, we appreciate what you guys do too. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I guess that's going to be it. I'm thinking nothing else to ramble on about. Let's see. Jesus is Lord. Yahushua HaMashiach is our Father in heaven. Godspeed and shalom.